All right, there we go. All right, this is the beginning of your cryptocurrency journey. All right, no bullshit. I'm just gonna give you to it straight as possible. I'm gonna try to make it as short as possible. All right. If you have any questions, you only have two people in here.
No, sir.
All right. I'm gonna skip this video. I'm not doing this video. Actually, I'm gonna let it play.
There's no audio.
Audio. Okay. Well, I can just skip this. I'm going to give people the presentation anyways. So I basically
Yeah,
just cover. I basically cover saying like, imagine getting like you're gonna get paid in Bitcoin in your future job or anything like that. I don't. I don't really see like personally. I don't see crypto ruling everything, but it's gonna rule a lot of what we have today. Just jump on it as soon as possible before it actually gets to the point where there's no return. All right. I have to move this over to my way. All right. Why should you care? All right. I mean, you can make a lot of money from buying at really low points. It's kind of like the stock market. You want to buy at low points and sell high points. But what I usually do is just I buy and hold certain coins until I make a decent amount of profit, and then I sell it if I have to. And then I kind of lied about the 5 to 10 minutes of time. It's probably gonna take like around 20 minutes every time, not 10 minutes. I was like very optimistic. All right. And we're at the tip of the iceberg right now in this venture. So it's going to explode to really great magnitude. It's going to be ridiculous. Like, for example, Amazon realized how useful it was. Again, didn't grab the fucking proof of why Amazon discovered this technology to be very useful. Just look it up. All right. If you don't believe me, believe Elon Musk, okay? This dude sent out a tweet asking or basically posting a video or a photo saying Dogecoin is going to be like the standard. Basically saying like the currency is going to be like the standard for like just a global economy. It's like not a global economy, but a global currency we use throughout the whole world, right? So if you don't believe me, believe this kid. Guy, it's not a kid. All right, setting up a crypto wallet. You don't have to use my fucking link if you don't want to. Doesn't fucking matter. I made a video about this like before. I made a whole bunch of videos about this presentation, but I deleted it because I was gonna just do a Zoom call about it and just wing it. But yeah, you can use this if you want. I gain $10 of Bitcoin. You gain $10 with Bitcoin. Simple as that. It's a win-win. It doesn't matter. Or you could just download Coinbase. I'm gonna let you guys use Coinbase because it is very user-friendly, and it's just if you use anything like Crypto.com or Binance, it's a lot more complicated. All right. There we go. Okay. What is cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, right? Cryptocurrency is volatile, meaning like it goes up and down at a rapid pace. It can change like in a dollar amount. Say if the coins are like is $4 worth of one of itself, right? It could change to like up to all the way to $1, so like $5 worth of itself in like a matter of minutes. It changes crazily. Like Ethereum, it gained $20, $30 in literally in 10 minutes. I mean, that's pretty like that's a pretty extreme example, but it's usually what happens. So you'll gain money and you'll lose money when buying cryptocurrency, right? And people get the misconception of why should I buy this, right? I mean,
Is it
you can
fair
make
to
a
say
lot
that
of
it's kind
money.
of like gambling?
I wouldn't say it's like gambling. You have to like you're looking at certain like coins. You have to like research your coins and make sure they're actually like credible. You know they're gonna blow up like Chainlink because
Oh, I gotcha.
the technology is gonna be there to actually like lift it up, right? So if you go to like a cryptocurrency that doesn't have any like plan to integrate it to anything or anything at all, like the technology is basically useless because a lot of cryptocurrencies have different technologies they bring to the table, right? And if it's not really useful and it's like not helping the blockchain, which is like, by the way, like I'm not even gonna get into blockchain. I'm not gonna spit that out yet. But if it's not helping the actual industry as a whole, there's no point of it, putting your money into it because it'll probably dip. Like over time, you can actually get a lot from it. It just depends what coin you buy, and which I'll get on later with the video. I kind of differentiate what I was saying for a second. So let me get myself together really quick. I'm just being,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, to the gambling point, I think an almost a different way to look at it would be more of a speculative market where it's not as, set in stone, where there's going to be days where a whole bunch of people decide to sell and the price gets driven down or vice versa.
Right, more like the stock market than anything else.
Exactly. But I mean, you just get more volatility where it could go further up, further down. And while that does leave higher chance for loss, it can also bring back much higher chance of return on investment as well.
Basically, it's like a double-edged sword, depending how you use it, where you use it.
Yes, sir.
But thank you, Cameron. You're helping a lot. I'm so glad you're fucking here. By the way, Joe, this is the kid that got me into it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, I've always been interested in it. I just didn't know like anything at all about it.
All right, by the way, that's Noah. He helped me with this presentation, the video.
I got you.
Noah did a presentation on it too.
He helped me with it. Like we FaceTimed and shit. It's fucking funny. Not funny, but like it helped a lot. Not gonna lie. I was like, this like presentation, by the way, for people that are watching, I've dumbed it down as much as I could. Like what you'll see throughout the presentation. There's a lot of things that like I'm trying to like teach you at once, and like it's hard to like grasp all of it at once. You want to like get fed like like little bits in pieces, like over time, because it's hard to take everything in. Am I right, Cameron? Like,
For sure. It's a lot of different moving parts, and it's kind of about understanding the basics before you really dive in and get to how it works and why it works.
yeah. All right, next slide. Decentralization, right? I don't want, for people watching, right? I don't want you to look at any of the text. Look at this picture. It is like the most perfect picture, right? So centralized is what we see in like regular networks we see today, like in regular databases. Like it's just one point of access, one center, right? That branches out into a whole bunch of different spots on the screen, right? And decentralized is a little different. Like it acts as it branches out to just different parts on the screen. Fuck, dude, oh my god, hold, just give me a second, Okay, so decentralization is a little different than centralized, right? Think about it this way. Decentralization, it's harder to take it down, right? Very, very hard. With the technology we have today, it's depending how many nodes you have, which nodes you see those like little points, like you see there's a whole bunch of centers that branch out differently, right?
Yeah.
Like those are the nodes. The nodes in the middle, those are nodes, right? And the more nodes you have, the more like centers you have, the more that's branch out, right? So say if I have like 1,000 nodes, the technology we have today, people are not bringing the network down at all. By the time you destroy one of them, and then you try to destroy another one, that one's gonna be back up the one you just destroyed. Like centralized is like you know where the point's at, so you know where to attack. The decentralized one, you don't know where to attack. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I would almost compare it to having, one capital city where you're doing all your industrial stuff, all your food and stuff and all that, and you go to war with a country and all they have to do is come and take out your one city and you're pretty much you're really at a disadvantage there. While decentralization is kind of spreading it out, and it really gives a lot more power to the people in that sense.
Yeah, Because like think about it this way. So technology improves rapidly at an acceleration at like exponential rate, right? So like we're about to hit the knee of the curve here soon for technology to like rapidly explode, right? And innovation. Like think about it 10 years from now. Like think about how many like innovations and like new devices are going to be created, right? A lot. Like we're probably going to have that neural link that Elon Musk is talking about, right? We're going to have a brain interface within our brain, right? A chip inside of our brain. Think about it. Don't you think we're going to need this decentralized network to like actually keep our networks from getting hacked or breached or anything like that compared to like a centralized network? Because in 10 years, 10, 20 years from now, a centralized network is going to be taken down just like that, like by the flick of their fingers. It's going to be so easy. A little 10-year-old can probably do it. The decentralized one, it'll still be really, really good. You just need to increase the amount of nodes we have on there. Nodes meaning like branches and like pillars that hold the network up, by the way. I know this. All right, I can switch to the next slide. Thank you, Cam. I really appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
I'm kind of just like kind of just fucking up a little bit, but you know, it's
No, no problem.
all right. Evidence why crypto is thriving, right? So different countries are integrating like the technology into their government systems, right? So like they realize how useful this is. They realize they'd rather join this technology sooner than later, right? So they're basically like they're adding like smart contracts, which meaning like it's like another thing that's involved with cryptocurrency. It was basically created by I forgot who coined it, but they coined it someone coined it around 1990. I don't really remember, but uh this guy, what's his name? Vitalik Buterin. How do you say his name, Cameron? It's Vitalik
Vitalik Buterin.
Buterin. Yeah.
Yeah.
He basically is the one who created Ethereum. Ethereum is basically a coin. And it came up and integrated like thing called smart contracts, basically allowing like peer-to-peer transactions to go through that have any value with it. So let me give you an example, right? So say my friend Cameron right here, right? So I want to send him 10 Bitcoin, right? Actually, I want to send him 5 Bitcoin for a pink pony. Because I want a pink pony, right? I'm a little ass fucking kid. Like, I want that shit bad. I'm like, yo, Cam, can I buy that fucking pony from you? He's like, sure. We set up this smart contract, right? Into place, this digital agreement, right? As soon as the set of requirements that or as soon as the set requirements we place in to actually make the smart contract actually do its work, like to actually like follow through with it, there's nothing that can stop it. You can set up smart contracts for collateral. Cameron, do you have anything to say about this?
I mean, like the easiest way I would kind of compare a smart contract to something we use in like the real world now is like imagine you're signing a lease for a house or like an apartment and you're paying monthly payments.
Yeah.
If you were doing that through a smart contract, you would sign the same way, you'd go through all the same processes with your landlord and whoever else, your insurance, whatever, all that other stuff you have to get done.
Yeah.
But the nice part about it is instead of having just an automatic ding coming from like a bank statement coming in, it's your account is automatically hooked up and it's sent through. And what it basically, imagine your landlord sends a ping into the system that says, all right, I need rent due. That system it gets read, gets computed, and once it's told, it gets sent through. Yes, we have similar processes like this today, but this smart contract application basically it allows you to utilize real world things within a digitalized economy almost.
Yeah.
It's pretty innovative, and it's just
We're
it's
gonna
something
need
we
it.
haven't seen yet, and it's a lot easier to see as you get further into the crypto space. But
Yeah, so like I'm gonna say this for future reference because we're gonna be talking about Chainlink, why it's gonna thrive. Uh so like like we're starting with on chain. Actually, I'll actually start that when we get to blockchain. Actually, yeah, let's do that. So but payment systems like PayPal and Venmo realize like that this is just gonna be crazy. Like we need this technology. We can make a lot of fucking money. I'll give you an example. I'm pretty sure it's on another slide, but like Cash App, they realized Cash App allowed users to like actually buy Bitcoin and trade it. Guess how much money they made? They made $306 million in their first year of having that on there, which is a lot, by the way. Fuck ton. But yeah, there's a lot of integrations happening in this crypto space. It's crazy. I have a couple more in this presentation. All right, blockchain, right? So blockchain is basically like it's like a look at this picture, right? It's like a whole bunch of blocks connected to each other, right? With computation, right? So think about it this way. Each block contains like just data, right? Like it's like a the block thing is a the blockchain is like a bank ledger, right? So you know when you open your phone and you want to see like your current balance in your bank account, I got US Bank, right? I want to look through like all these lists of transactions that I bought, right? So I went to the store today, I bought $17 worth of food, right? I can see that transaction. That's on my bank ledger, right? That's basically what the blockchain is, right? It's like all these stored like these recorded like it's basically recorded transactions on like a list. Like if you go on like a public chain on like on the internet, you can see a live feed of these transactions happening in real time. And what's bottlenecking this is like the blockchain can only handle so many transactions at once before it breaks decentralization, right? So we went back to the network, right? We don't want it to break decentralization, right? Like apparently Bitcoin can handle what was it? I might be a little help with this, but they can handle about 3 transactions per second, or four. The max it can handle is 4 transactions per second on the blockchain for Bitcoin, and Ethereum can handle 5 transactions per second.
Yeah. I mean, it all kind of depends on the usage at that time. It also you can. This is a little more advanced, but there's fees to pay within the blockchain. They're very minimal, but as you get further into crypto, there are certain applications that you can use that minimize these fees, and it's ultimately to make it without fees, right? You don't want to have to pay any extra fees to use this, right? And the whole point is it's still a new technology, and it's a new philosophy, really, and so it has to be completely streamlined, and it's kind of looking at it from a top-down perspective and working to that final product. And the closer we get to it, the more it starts becoming worth is the nominal value can show.
Yeah, Cameron, I'm so glad you're fucking here. I'm not even fucking lie. Like I had like all the I had like by the way, I'm not like just fucking amateur. I'm like just getting like jitters, that's all. Like I literally like all like first perspective, I literally yesterday was a typical day for me. Literally was just reading articles, watching videos about shit like this. Like
Yeah, no, I mean it's a lot of new information, and it can be really exciting once you finally dip your toes in it.
all right, let's see. Okay, so basically every block in the blockchain, right? Like see this picture, every block, right, it can hold up to 1 megabyte worth of like transactions, right? Which is like it can store up to like a few thousand transactions, right? And we'll get into like how we create a new block on the blockchain later in this presentation, but I want to get next to the next slide. All right, this is another integration that's going to soon happen. It's not really alleged it's going to happen. They just haven't done it yet. PayPal is going to integrate crypto exchange, right? You're gonna be able to buy crypto and exchange crypto in PayPal, right? Which is pretty big. Think about it. PayPal is really fucking big. Like a lot of people use PayPal. And if that doesn't really like resonate with you and you're like, oh, cryptocurrency is not really gonna be a thing, this should actually like be like a deal breaker. I have a couple more, but yeah, that's about it.
And to continue with that, I mean, with PayPal comes Venmo as well. And if you talk about the Cash App as he was talking about, part of the reason PayPal was so interested in moving towards getting some involvement with crypto is because they were starting to lose some customers to Cash App just because of how easy it was to take money from Cash App that you were sent or you put in from your own account and just put it straight into cryptocurrency. And it's super
Yeah.
seamless and you don't even really need to make an account.
Yeah, you know what's funny, Cameron? PayPal used to like despise cryptocurrency. Like they hated
Yeah.
it. Like they're like, man, this shit sucks. I don't want this shit. They were
Yeah. And
like
I mean,
they're like these people. Like example, like my stepsister, her boyfriend. I was like, yo, this is like dude. Look up Chainlink, bro. This shit's about to like go up even more again. Some other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, and he's like, bro, you realize that you're gonna lose a lot of money, right? I'm like, bro, I'm up like $600. Like,
exactly.
I'm not. It's not super extreme, but like, there's people I know that have way more. I'm not gonna say what my portfolio is. I don't want to say shit like that. I'm just gonna say that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. And I mean,
I'm up like $500, like $600 in like 2 days.
yeah, like, and I mean, the way to look at it is you're not sitting here trying to day trade and, ultimately quit your job and start, just buying crypto every day. I mean, you're sitting here making investments and stuff that you think it's going to change the technological field we know of. It's going to leave a lasting impact and it's going to continue to grow. And that's kind of the point, because like, if you consider how big all of crypto is, it is not even a fraction of the top 5 stocks. And so, like, just to even think about if it even surpassed one of those, what the prices would have to be for everything. It's such a speculative market, and yes, that does have some risk coming with it, but there's so much potential that can also come. And I mean, to that point, can also come, we've also started actually seeing come to fruition.
Yeah, it's like it really just depends, cause like there's some cryptos out there that are literally like changing. They're gonna change the way we like see the internet. Like it's literally gonna lead into a new paradigm shift. It's gonna be some crazy shit. Like not everything about crypto is crazy, but there's a couple things about crypto that's gonna change a lot of things around here. Like it's gonna be crazy, but yeah. So I forgot I was gonna say about some other things, but we'll just move on. So let's see. All right. I kind of this is a typo. I'll be honest on the top title or whatever. But we're talking about networks and nodes, right? So nodes are like basically it's like a pillar, it's like a support system holding up the network, right? There's many nodes in the network, and the decentralized one especially, right? Just think about them as a bridge or a pillar. Simple as that. And then a network, it's like they're like it's like a couple or few computers, or no, it's probably like 2 or more computers just communicating with each other. That's literally what it is. I use this example, like 2 girls hitting each up. No, 2 or more girls hitting each other up on the weekend, just sending data. That's literally it. That's what a network is. As simple as that.
Yeah, and I mean,
That's about it.
with the nodes being like buildings almost, you can compare that with the whole system, as we were talking, like cities, is like the individual like blockchains. Like there's a whole bunch of these different blockchains that we have. Those blockchains are the cities that make up the decentralized network, and then the nodes within them are the buildings that surround it.
Yeah. Damn, someone's been playing Civ.
I swear.
Hey, are you doing this again anytime soon?
What do you mean?
This class, are you gonna do this again, or?
I could. Like it's just this is like my first time doing it. Like I if I like started doing shit like this, like I'd get more comfortable. Like right now I'm not really that comfortable, I'll be
Yeah.
honest.
My
Cameron's
phone.
like helping me out.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm about to die, but, I'll definitely look into this, man.
yeah, it's like Jared, it's gonna be like it's not like some people hype it up a lot, it's not as hyped as people think it is, but it's hyped. Like it's pretty. It's gonna be pretty innovative. Like
Yeah, I mean, you hear some people talking about like you put $100 in and you're gonna be a millionaire,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
they're
like
lying. They're
it's
lying.
like yeah, that could be true. It's just kind of what's the
I'm like,
Yeah,
scope
it's
that
more
you're
of a
looking at,
constant thing rather than like a one and done type deal.
Exactly. Yeah, it's looking at it as it's constant accelerating growth. It's
yeah.
kind of
Okay, just
writing that
look at the
parabola.
screen. Look at me, right? This is how graphs traditionally work on like a stock market. They just slowly go up, right? Like this. This is like what crypto does.
Well, yeah, it's no different than the stock market or anything really.
No, like people don't understand is like it constantly goes up and down a lot. But it traditionally, depending what cryptocurrency is, it's like if it's Chainlink, Ethereum, or Bitcoin, it traditionally goes up. But like it looks like it's gonna go down, but it goes up.
Yeah, it trends similar to stocks in that way, but in the shorter time frames, if you're looking at it, it doesn't always appear that way. If that kind of makes more sense, just because of the volatility.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Oh, I think you left. Must have just kicked out. Let's just keep going, Cameron.
Word.
Let's just talk about it because I'm gonna record this forever. I'm gonna recording it. I really appreciate you, Cameron. I fucking love you.
I got you,
All right.
brother.
So let's just talk back and forth, okay? I feel
Okay.
like I did that. So let's just act like this. We have an audience, right? So
Word.
hacker. Let's go back actually. Hacker. They're greater than centralization, right? So like they're fucking happy because they just took down my fucking website or my network and then they probably got all my fucking money. They're happy, right? Decentralization? Nope. They're fucking depressed because it's too OP. That's like dumbed down,
Exactly.
okay?
Yeah. And I mean,
Yeah.
it's thinking about it's like you have multiple choke points to take down, and just that extra layer of security. When it comes to day-to-day things, you don't realize how vital security can be with some of your data.
We're gonna need some secure like databases, secure networks as time moves forward. Think about it, because like I don't know if anyone here, or if it's gonna listen, actually wants a chip inside their brain. But if you want a chip inside your brain, you have like a database, a network of all this shit of your personal life. Do you really want that shit hacked? Do you really want that shit to be in someone else's hands? No.
And to that same point, it's you're sitting here, we're seeing Tesla coming out with all these new self-driving vehicles and all
Yeah.
that stuff. It's you want that AI to be able to have a constant data feed that's monitored and can be checked and can be made sure that the data it's receiving is what it should be, and that you aren't just swerving off the interstate.
Yeah.
Like,
Just like think about it like if you ever played Watch Dogs, like was this guy like he hacks like a whole bunch of shit around the city with his phone, right? Like think about it. Phones are like look at the iPhone 11 for example. This thing is like a computer, but like a small ass device, right? Like it's more like we traverse in the time, the more it's gonna be like a computer, right? So someone could just easily in the future just hack my fucking car if I have a centralized network, right? And just hack it and just do whatever the fuck they want with my car while I'm driving, and I could easily die. That's fucked. So that's what we needed. I don't know if you have any other different one, Cam, but my opinion, this is about my top 5 cryptocurrencies in the coming years. All right.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just those are all pretty good coins, and to each of those in their own, any of their integrations that they come into contact with are typically pretty good. There's with Chainlink, there's a recent integration yesterday that the the company they were now providing Oracle services for announced a Coca-Cola partnership that they were going to be
Oh,
working and
I saw that.
supplying the supply chain with the data feeds and stuff like that. And then 10 minutes later, they announced that they're integrating with Chainlink and their oracles. So
All right. For
it's
oracles, by
coming
the
into
way,
that.
oracles like it's like okay, help me with this definition, Cam. I'm trying to like think of a way to explain it. It's like I wrote it down somewhere.
I mean, the easiest way I could explain it is it's a third party validator that ensures that, two ends of an agreement are met, right? And it's monitored by multiple, like it's not just one person. It's an entire network of services that go through and have to go through that exact same process. But as the network continues to grow, the fees for that go down, time for transactions go down, and just becomes a smoother and more transparent process.
Yeah. What I wrote down was like I'll give an example of like an oracle. I found this like in an article. So, example, say you have like frozen goods and you want to deliver it to somewhere, right? And the frozen goods is basically the oracle is what brings the temperature information. So like what like how the temperature goes above and below the certain point, a certain point, or whatever, right? So like nothing can do that yet, right? So that info isn't on the blockchain. So having a third party like Chainlink can like securely bring data to trigger the contract, right? Because nothing else can do that. So like, let me think of another example.
Yeah, because I mean, with Ethereum coming in, that's where we were introduced with smart contracts, right? That's where the peer-to-peer kind of contractual service agreement came into real play. And the big issue with that was you were only able to take data that was on blockchain to blockchain, which is
often like you basically just couldn't like you couldn't do off-chain shit, which is like banks and stuff like that. And you honestly like you can't like get to like the specific data when the transaction is going through or right before it's about to go through, while it's like in time like taking place.
Yeah, and I mean you could think of it almost as you have weather data, like the junior's example with the frozen goods. You need to keep the goods at a specific temperature to make sure they're fresh, to make sure they're, you get the full, you get your full pay for your delivery. So as they're going, you have a sensor or whatever, or some sort of mechanism that can monitor temperature in there. And if at any time it changes to, within your set range that you have, it automatically resets that. And you don't even have to think about it. It's set up so it's supposed to be trustless. We're so obsessed, with trusting specific brands these days, and it's looking at like, which insurance brand is the most reputable. I mean, with Chainlink and its oracles, you don't necessarily have to worry about the company. It's just, do they use the oracles, right? Is your data encrypted and being used and stored in the proper ways?
Yeah, that's actually a really good explanation. Actually, not gonna lie.
Thank you.
This kid, bro, knows a lot about crypto. No lie. All right, let's talk about for Bitcoin's price. So Bitcoin, like, I know a lot of you guys heard like Bitcoin jumped up to like a little over 20,000, right? That's why people were freaking out because a lot of people that bought like when Bitcoin was like less than 1,000 and went to 20,000, they made like easily like 20 times the profit. Like they made some like ridiculous shit, right? But in this case, I don't see it going to there like anytime soon. But eventually, like it's hard to say, but like I know it's gonna go back up to that point again because the more like the more we have Bitcoin like staying in this realm, the more the price is gonna go up, like for sure. Because think about it this way, like it's not, like there's like miners, right? Which I have in a different slide in this presentation. So like you could probably rewatch this or whatever, but um, so a miner that's like mining Bitcoin, right? Every time they mine a block on the blockchain, right? You don't really have to care about that yet, but like they get paid in Bitcoin, right? They get paid. They used to get paid 12.5 Bitcoin every time they did that, right? But Bitcoin halving came, right? But when did the halving come? Like wasn't like June, Cam?
It was like the second week of May, I think.
It was definitely not May. It was June.
It was somewhere around there.
Yeah, I would say it's probably the second week of June then.
Mhm.
But now they get paid in 6.25 Bitcoin, right? And then in the next 4 years, it's gonna happen again. So they're gonna get paid in 125?
Mhm.
I don't know if that's off. It's
Yeah,
off.
and I mean, to that point, that in itself, we've all taken an economics class here or there, right? We understand the supply and demand, right? As supply, you could think about the only people that are really getting the new Bitcoin into the economy are those miners. And more than likely, what they're doing is they're putting it back into the system, like back into the economy, right? And that becomes more liquid. But as they start earning less and less, that means they still have to make their money. And most of the people that mine Bitcoin do it for a living, right? So as they start making less and less Bitcoin, what's the price going to have to do in the long run?
Yep.
It's going to have to go up to support them, right? Otherwise, it's just not going to be profitable. And to the point, Bitcoin's getting more usage. It's getting more retail, like more retail investors are coming in. Like the fact that we're sitting here as college students looking into buying into crypto is a really good sign for it in the long run, right? We're kind of the new generation moving forward, and we don't really have the money to make that big of an influence now. But if we're some of the first people into this stuff, it's kind of that generational wealth. But
Yeah. So think about it this way, like I wouldn't say Bitcoin. I have a couple things for this. I wouldn't say Bitcoin is more like an investment compared to other coins out there. I would say Bitcoin's one of those coins where it's consistent enough at high enough price where we can just like make daily purchases on it. Like example, say you want to buy something on the internet, like you're on Amazon, you just buy easily Bitcoin. That's like one of the coins you want to buy shit with, not really buy to invest, right? Like that's what I think Bitcoin should be. Like, do you agree, Cameron?
yeah, I mean, it's like Bitcoin's whole creation is it's kind of a store of wealth, right? And it's deflationary in that sense. So like, I mean, no matter what, Bitcoin was created to go up in price. It's supposed to be that kind of quote unquote synthetic gold, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to, people are supposed to be able to put their money in, and it's supposed to be able to keep its value at the very least, right? Like it's supposed to be safe from regulation, safe from any outside tampering, and it's yours. That's kind of the premise of Bitcoin, and that's why there's that popularity, and that's genuinely why it's so appealing to newer investors as well, because it's if you talk about it like it is kind of that the equivalent of investing in gold or a fine luxury metal, right? It
Yeah.
does seem a lot more appetizing and appealing, but
Yeah. Okay.
to the same point, yeah.
Let me put it in perspective for you guys listening. So that are actually like coming here later. So you know how we have different paradigm shifts, meaning like we'll have like a different like innovation or creation that leads us to never go back to the old thing we used to use. Example is like horses, right? We used to ride around on horses back in the day, right? And then we went from horses to cars, and then engine cars to electric cars. That's what we're doing right now for the next paradigm shift, right? This is kind of like the same premise for coins. So like we went from gold, right? I mean, gold's still valuable, but who fucking carries around gold with them? It's inefficient. Like, okay, like we went from gold to cash, right? And then cash to Visa cards, like credit cards, right? What's the next one? Guys, I wouldn't know. Kim, what's the next one?
It's got to be crypto.
Yes, it's gotta be fucking crypto. Like it has to be.
Yeah, and
Like
I mean, you could think of it this way, like think about Amazon or Netflix even, right? They were coming in with a completely new idea. They're coming in proposing. Amazon was doing their online, like before, like when the internet had just started, they started working on their online store, and shipping goods from there, right? that was completely unheard of. That was completely like the people were blown away by that. It was something people laughed at and said, "This will never work. This will never gain adoption."
Yeah,
You
same
know,
with Tesla.
right? Exactly. It's the same point. It's once, and now you see how many places have online retails. Like, how many places can you go buy shit from online, right? Pretty much any store, right? That's kind of the first mover effect, right?
It's because
That's
people
what
don't want to
Bitcoin has
change.
going for it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, is if we can see, like, we're so early. Like, this is the thing is, it looks so late because of the price. It's been higher than what it has been, right? Like, it to a newer investor, it doesn't look like there's that much opportunity. To put it into perspective, it's like Bitcoin is still over 60% of the entire cryptocurrency market. Like, and there are thousands of other coins, you know.
Coins you can
And if
make.
Bitcoin
You
has
can
to
make a
continue
coin.
going up, you know, like that, if Bitcoin has to keep going up and it's already 60% of the market and it's going to continue to lose that, that has to be a good sign for some of these other coins. And that's just why it's not necessarily a flawless investment, but it's about as close as you can get.
Yeah, nothing's perfect in this world. Like the way I speak's not perfect. The way I did this presentation's not perfect. The way you brush your teeth that night's not perfect. The way you have a girlfriend, she's not perfect. Like no one's perfect. Nothing's perfect. Like this thing will rise and fall, but in my eyes, I see this shit like I see me and Cameron, we're pretty early on this shit. So like I see us like getting to a point where we're like, we made a fucking lot of money from this and people didn't listen to us. Like, because it's too late. Like they didn't listen to us. That's their fault. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of like it's, you know, they say put $100 in and it'll turn into 1,000 overnight. But I mean, at the very least, you put $100 in today or tomorrow, you know, and you forget about it, right? And you come
yeah,
back to it in a year or two. I'd be pretty confident if you look at the chart that's sitting right in front of us, you know, minus Corona there, it was
I
pretty
swear.
much a pretty good bet that if you bought at any time, you were going to be in the money. And there's, as far as Ethereum and Chainlink and some of the other coins go, it's even more so the case. You know,
Yeah,
there's just a lot going for it, and yes, it's speculative, but at some point the speculation turns into concrete evidence.
hell yeah. So let's talk about Chainlink, man. This is obviously our favorite coin, no doubt. This
Agreed.
thing is like, okay, think about the producers of Chainlink being like men, just adults. Like they're not all talk. When they don't talk about integration, they just do it. Like they're all action. Like they're not like they're not like the typical high school student saying like, "Hey, I'm gonna start my own business. I'm gonna do all this bullshit," and then just never do it. They don't say anything about it. They just do it. You could literally wake up the next morning and be like, "Oh my God, they integrated with they have a partnership with Microsoft. What should they do?" Be like, "Holy fuck, it's fucking ridiculous." Like I'm trying to think, what are they all integrated with? I didn't put it in, but
I mean, they're integrated with Microsoft. They've been working with Google Cloud. They've been working with IBM, Linux. I mean, pretty much any Oracle, who's, you know, top 10, 15 companies in like income per year, and they're a data processing company, and that's what Chainlink does. Is it securely, like, it? The whole point of it is it doesn't encrypt it necessarily, but it makes it 10 times, if not 100 more times secure.
okay, so let's explain Chainlink, what the technology is. Let's go back and forth. I'll start first. So it puts like you know, like the on-chain, right? On-chain is like stuff like cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin, Ethereum. It basically converts that on-chain shit to off-chain mediums, like basically grabbing like cryptocurrencies and the way they work and putting them to real life. that's like a good way to put it. Like that's like basically transferring the on-chain shit to real life. That's what it is.
Mhm.
It just
And
bridges it.
yeah, and to that same point, it also works the inverse direction. So that's taking real world data, like, I mean, you could connect like your people have their Fitbits and stuff, right? And it tracks, your daily activity, your heart rate, and all that stuff, right? And I mean, think about even for an older person or someone who's at more of a risk, right? If their heart rate started going to an abnormal rate and they're living at home or they're living by themselves, right? You would be able to automatically send a message to someone to make sure that they're okay, or at least, ensure their safety. What it does is it takes real world stuff and it allows us to play around with it like we've been kind of doing with cryptocurrency the last 10 or so years. It's it 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 allows for a whole new way to look at things and a whole new, I guess, just a whole new outlook, right? It allows us to work on different things in much faster ways, much more concise ways, and just ultimately we can streamline most of our services. And I mean, to the same point, Junior,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
know you've been into AI and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So
And
like, let's
yeah,
start about this. We've been talking about this real quick. It's like, say like, it's like, if you guys know what, I'm gonna use a big word here, symbiosis, symbiotic, right? It's basically real life in cryptocurrency being symbiotic meaning like they're merging together. Like, you know how like Elon Musk will be like, yeah, we're all technically cyborgs. Yeah, we're gonna be symbiotic with technology, right? So we're gonna have a chip inside of our brain. You either beat him, if you can't beat him, you join him, right? This is what it is. Like, it's basically applying real life mechanisms into the crypto world, right? And merging them together. It's basically what Chainlink is doing. Like, just
yeah,
long story
and
short.
and more on kind of why Chainlink is kind of a good investment is as you're thinking about, okay, so Chainlink takes this data and it moves it, right? So what is the point of the coin? You have the coin, and this process hasn't been completely finished and integrated yet, but it's right now it's working on kind of it's called KYC, which is basically a third party governance party that can validate the trustness, or I guess the trustfulness of a node and the data it produces. But as we get further and further into the Chainlink like development stage, they're eventually going to unroll this technology called staking. Once staking goes live, you're going to be able to take the Chainlink tokens, put them into the node that is taking in and sending out data, and more or less it has to represent the same amount of like monetary value that's going in and out. So imagine you have you're paying $1 million for, a house, and they can't send over the lease and all the information to the house until it's gone through the smart contract. You're not going to pick a smart contract that only has $5,000 worth of collateral put inside of the node, because if for some reason the information got messed up or somehow the agreement wasn't met, you wouldn't then be like the money from inside of the node gets compensated out to the users who were basically damaged by the process.
Yeah, let me stop you there real quick. For people listening right now, um, what he means by collateral for a smart contract, you can set up collateral, as much collateral as you want for the smart contract. So like, it's like, think about the smart contract being like a little AI. Like, if you set up enough collateral, the more collateral you have, the least likely the smart contract's gonna fuck up, basically. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
that's as simple as it. It's as simple as that.
because I mean, so every time a smart contract is being run through a Chainlink oracle, and once staking is live, if the person who is running the node that gives faulty information, they're the one who's impacted personally. That the money they put in, or that collateral that I was talking about, that then gets distributed and then compensates for what was gone wrong in the contract, right? But at the same time, as you start completing those contracts, based on the amount of money you have put in there, you receive more Chainlink on top of that from the ecosystem. So you generate more Chainlink on top of it in the long run. This isn't out yet, and the way Chainlink kind of does things, they don't really want to give us a date that's set in stone. They're just going to work on it, and once it's ready, it's going to come out.
Yeah, they're all walk. They don't talk.
Yeah, that's kind of just a testament to the legitimacy of this group of people. They don't want to just hype it up and make the price go up before it's ready. They'll let it go up naturally and let everything come naturally. They don't even announce their own integrations. They wait until the other side of the party is ready to announce it before they even say anything.
Okay, we're gonna move on, but before I do that, just letting you guys know, fucking download Twitter, look up $link. As simple as that. All right, Chainlink's price. So, Cameron's one of these lucky bastards that bought it what would you buy it? $1.70?
I have a couple
90?
buys under $2. Yeah.
Yeah. The price right now, when I recorded that day, the July 17th, it was at 834. Right now, what is it, $950?
Yeah, we made another new all-time high, sitting about 945, but touched 975, trying to break that $10.
Yeah. So Chainlink went from give a perspective. The example I use here is Chainlink used to be 375, right? It was still pretty cheap back then, and to peak at 890, right? Which is a lot. It went from that. It went from $4 to $9 in how long was it? Less than a month.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. It was and then quick correction back down to 650, and we're right back up, breaking through the all-time high.
Yeah, for perspective, you had $1,000, right? Which I use an example. You put $1,000 in the Chainlink when it was at 390. In that example I used today, when it was July 17th, right? Not today, but July 17th, you would have made $1,000 and $1,138.46 when it hit 834. That's not even its fucking peak. It's not even including it hit 850, 890 that day. I was just using an example right there.
Yeah, and to that point, at this very moment, $1,000 is almost 2,500. So that's another $400 from $1, $1.50 or whatever.
Yeah.
Just $1.50 in price movement is almost $500 worth of profit, right? That's once it starts moving, you understand it, because think about the range something's moving. For a coin that is worth 30 cents, right? A 5-cent drop is gonna be an 18% decrease, right? A 5-cent drop on Chainlink is gonna be a fraction of a percent, right? You kind of have to take that into perspective. But when you still looking at this graph, when you see $6 to $8 in 2 days, that's just that's the tip of the iceberg for what's possible with Chainlink.
Yeah.
Because once staking goes live, think
Same
of
with Ethereum.
think of the market cap of Chainlink has to equal that of the data, of the monetary value of the data that's going into it, right? Chainlink is partnered with China, South Korea, Vietnam, and not the Philippines, but Singapore.
Sure, Cardano. I'm playing.
Yeah. But just think of those are 4 of the most technologically advanced nations in Asia, right?
Yeah.
If we have their entire gross domestic product running through Chainlink oracles, I promise you the market cap's going to be a little bit higher than 3.5 billion.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking insane, bro. All right, let's talk about Ethereum, dude. What do you have this? What are your thoughts on Ethereum?
Well, I mean, so Chainlink's technically based on Ethereum, which doesn't really mean much. It just kind of means it's using their code, right? But more or less, it represents decentralized finance right now. That whole DeFi
Yeah.
word, that keyword. So there's a whole bunch of like just coins going up ridiculous amounts for ridiculous reasons because there's just that speculative value. It's gaining traction with certain groups of people, and they're all putting their money in the same spot, right? And that includes big jumps. But then these big jumps in prices, you started seeing some use cases come from them. And then it seems that these big people that were getting in early on these coins happen to be big Ethereum holders and are trying to increase the network, right? And so by basically putting aside Ethereum, they can tokenize other assets and stuff. That's more complicated than you need to know, but just know that the fact that there's so many people using Ethereum means, to the same point as Bitcoin, it's got to keep going up.
Yeah.
And then as you can see, the Ethereum price chart right there is pretty good indication since Corona as well.
Oh yeah, Corona. Like people were talking about like the stock market crash. Like it affected cryptocurrency too. Like it was honestly like for people that like bought, even though they lost money, they gained it right back. They were freaking out. Like people that sold when that price went below half of what it used to be are fucking stupid. Don't fucking sell. Don't sell until it fucking reaches 0 cents. So basically, just don't sell until you
Yeah, I
actually
mean,
make money.
like
Like if you're good
there's
with
there's
the
a
like
lot of
profit.
ways markets can skew the data, so it's you want to know what you're investing in, and that's why I always say
Yeah. Research your coins before
yeah,
buying.
I listen, listen to us, listen to other people, and listen to the advice they give, but never just put your money somewhere based off of what someone says type stuff.
Yeah,
You
because
always want to have your own input, your own say.
yeah, let's put it this way. You go on TikTok, like these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I mean, some of them do, but like they're like, let's day trade. How you make $10,000 when you put in $1,000 in a couple days? Let's do it. They're lying. They're lying straight to your face, dude. Like, it's sad because it's not how it works. I mean, it can happen, but like that's like the most optimistically like protocol I've ever fucking seen in my life. Like, it is fucking stupid. They want views so bad they'll fucking clickbait you for it. Like,
Mm.
yes, Chainlink can go up. It can double its price, which it has done multiple times in like a week or a few days, which is crazy. And it'll go back and it'll go back down. If you get good at reading the charts, I'm not like super good at reading the charts. Cameron's pretty good at that, but like I'm not. I don't really care honestly. I'm just buying and buying at low points and just holding it and just not selling,
Yeah.
especially while I'm
I
there.
mean, yeah, and to that same point, when you take into perspective how early we are, it really, it doesn't even necessarily matter as much when you're thinking about buying at low points, because if you're truly in for like, the next couple of years, right? The next, like, let's just say for 5 years, right? If you're buying Chainlink at 950 versus 850, let's say the price is over $100, you know, the return on investment difference between buying at 850 and 950 isn't really going to be that much. It's
Yeah,
going to be it's, yeah, obviously you could have made a little bit more money, but you're still getting in and you're still beating the wave of other people. And
yeah.
that's
Like
really what it matters.
we're still really early. Same with Ethereum. We're still really early. So even if you bought like its high point right now, even if you just need to wait like months or a year, and like it will literally go up a lot. Like
Yeah. And
it's not like
Ethereum's
it's not like the fucking price is just sitting there jacking off. I gotta be like a little entertaining, you know. But, like it's not like they're just jacking off, just doing nothing, playing fucking video games and just got all these tissues on the ground, lotion, right? Nah, they're fucking working their asses off. Like that Vitalik, he's literally like he's a creator. He's pretty smart, but like he's really skinny, dude. Like fuck. But dude, he's putting in that work. Like he's making sure Ethereum is fucking getting to where it was, where he wants. His net worth is $100 million, by the way,
Uh,
or
well,
above.
speaking of today, actually, Ethereum version 2 testnet went live.
You're shitting me.
No, yeah, so that going live today, just another catalyst. Basically, the one issue with Ethereum is we've talked about block producing and transferring data is it when the ecosystem gets full of users and congested, it can cost more than it would normally to transfer money or to transfer between cryptocurrencies or send crypto to other places, right? That's what they're trying to combat with the version 2 that they're coming up with, which is more focused on scalability and increasing block size. And that whole staking mechanism I mentioned with Chainlink should be coming out live in December is I think when they said it's gonna be mainnet.
So
But
that's like again, that's like very optimistic. Like that's not like
yeah,
it's like
they've
a range.
been working on it. Corona has kind of impacted that. It was supposed to come out in July, but the
Yeah,
fact that
not
they
to
got the
blame everything
testnet
in
out
Corona.
is yeah,
Like,
the fact that testnet's out now and people are actually using it and it's it's been coded and it's at least bug free for now is a very good sign that it should be coming out
yeah,
in at
again,
least the next 6 months.
again, just to reinforce the fucking idea, blockchain, I don't know if you remember, but blockchain is storage. It's just keeping storage of transactions. That's what blockchain is. That's literally what it is. It's an online ledger with cryptocurrency, with dates, time, and some other things, other specifications, and who bought it. Like what it's like a really like tip of the iceberg thing, but like yeah. Like let's get on blockchain really quick before I go on this slide really quick, Cameron. So
Yeah.
blockchain, like to what's bottlenecking us right now is that we can only handle so many transactions per second at once. So say we have like because we don't have the whole United States or the whole world, I mean, using cryptocurrency and buying and transferring, right? We wouldn't be able to handle that and keep decentralization, right? We can only handle so many transactions per second before breaking decentralization. So that's one thing we're gonna people in the crypto space we're gonna start working on, right? That's like one thing we actually need to like make happen. So we can have like the whole world use it. Because I'll give you a perspective. Like in that other video with there was like a video before there if you watched it. Like so I didn't play it. I would if you're watching this, go back to those videos and actually watch them. Because I only have like 2 videos, but you talk about like how poor countries actually need this bad. Like United States, we're still chilling, but we could use it, but like we're good. Other countries like Greece and just lower countries like that, they need this shit because the government doesn't give a fuck. They're corrupted. Like they're actually corrupted. Like they don't give a fuck about your bank account. I could be a retired person, have $50,000 in the bank account, right? And they could just shave off my bank account and just take that away from me. They could still like $10,000, $20,000 away from me just because they can. Like it's fucked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, another crazy part with that third world country aspect side of things is that's the beautiful part about cryptocurrency is that it's not regulated, right? Like there's regulations to ensure
Yeah,
that
but
it's
you're not
it's
relying on a third party like a bank. You're
right.
relying on like self-sustainability.
Yeah.
It's like Elon Musk doing the solar city shit. He wants sustainable energy. We need to progress towards using sustainable energy instead of using fossil fuels and finite resources because that's bad.
Yeah.
Endanger our planet. We'll run out of resources. Like, that's what we need.
Yeah, and I mean it's and it allows think about it. Anyone with it just takes simple internet access. It's not like you need you don't need a crazy internet access to buy crypto.
Yeah.
It,
Like again,
think about it. It allows,
yeah.
If someone in, let's say like somewhere in Sudan, right, bought Bitcoin back in 2015, right?
They're
Just
chilling.
even a fraction of it, their net worth within their country has increased not only by probably thousands of percent in Bitcoin, just in that value, but it's almost life changing, right? And it allows this opportunity for the common person, no matter where you are, to have a chance to, get into this technology early, right? And and it allows people to start, because there's so many people going out to those third world countries and trying to encourage them to start building this way, and just to start working at this and
Yeah, easier said
inspiring
than done.
the young populations and get them excited about working with it. And I mean, there's been, like Akon's trying to make his own crypto city in Africa. I heard, like, there's so much potential behind it, and there's just it's so exciting for all walks of people, and it's such a good thing for everybody. And I think that's why it's ultimately going to work.
Yeah. No, it's like it's kind of like it's kind of like it's kind of like the water situation on Earth, right? I'll give you an analogy for this. So like we don't know entirely where all of our water came from Earth, because if you studied science, right? If you're not stupid, which I know everyone that's listening is not stupid, water had to come from somewhere, right? Because we used to be like a lava ball, right? But like we know it came from different streams. So streams of the water, right? So like comets and some other things. We don't know the other ones. They're unknown. But like mostly comets, right? Or comets, right? It's kind of like the same thing with money, right? So if you're rich, think about it. The rich people, they have multiple streams of income. Like they don't like they don't just have one job and that's where they make all their money. They work a job, they have YouTube, they're having other sites make them money while they don't have to look on the website. There's a whole bunch of different factors, right? So I forgot where I was going with this. Just give me a second. So oh yeah. So that's basically the same thing with like cryptocurrency. Like think about it this way. It helps so many things, so many different streams of problems we're having in this fucking world, right? It helps with people having corrupt governments that take money away from them, right? It helps with building better networks, which can accelerate the singularity, if you know what the singularity is. I'm not going to specify. Um, yeah, just things like that. It solves so many problems at once. It's crazy. Like, do you have anything to say about that, Cam?
I mean, you pretty much covered it. It's just
There's so many different ways you can use blockchain technology, right? Like between tokenizing, like tickets to events, to so you have an encrypted ticket that, like, it's a specialized code that only you could have, right? So there's no ticket scalping, right? You can't have someone just go in and buy hundreds of tickets, right?
Yeah.
It makes it makes things easier. It makes things more true, right? Gives a sense of justice almost, right? And it allows you to go about your day and go about your life with a little less anxiety about having to wonder, do I have to trust these people with my money? Do I have to trust these people with what I'm giving them? It
Yeah,
it all just kind of
more or
it,
less.
it eases everything, right?
Yeah.
But
All
yeah.
right. Since we kind of went on a little tangent right there, let's continue this shit. So yeah, this definitely got a lot longer than I thought it'd be. I might cut a little things, but like I'll definitely have like shit to be like, this is where we talk about this and stuff like that. Like, the whole
Yeah, just give some timestamps.
thing. All right, so what if I don't have $1,000, man? Well, you don't have to have $1,000. All right, you're fucking cooling. Like my friend Noah, he bought Chainlink when it was at 580. I got him on that shit before it went to $9. I got you. I got you. I got you. Like Cam, he got me on this shit before. Like He got me on this when it was like $2 or less than $2. I bought
Yeah.
at 192,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
didn't buy a whole bunch. I only bought like 10, $20, but still.
I mean, but like to that point, at just that 190, buying $10 worth is like, that's what, 5 and some Chainlink. That's
Yeah.
almost $50 worth right now, right? Like
Yeah.
that was 6 months ago, and that's just,
Probably.
you've just been adding on to it, right? Like it's when you understand like the technicals and fundamentals, it makes you a lot more confident, right?
Yeah. Like the more you discover like what all this means, the more like you realize like, damn, this thing's actually like going to blow the fuck up. But yeah, so he put in $100, right? And it went up to 843. Again, he bought at 580. He gained $45.34 in like a few days by doing nothing, literally nothing. And then the high point was like 890. He could have sold at 890 and made $53.43. Like, come on. Like, what more do I have to fucking say? Like,
Yeah, and I mean, it's like there's places that'll get you crazier stuff but quicker, but I mean, it's all about that consistent growth, right? And then the consistent adoption and integrations.
yeah. So, all right, let's move on. How can person A send Bitcoin to person B? All right. Well, there's like, again, this is like, it's gonna evolve over time. Like, the more we traverse the time, right, the easier it's gonna be to use it and share and trade Bitcoin, right? It's gonna be a lot easier, like significantly. It's probably gonna get to the point where we're gonna be able to send cryptocurrency through our brains by just thinking about it. Like, it's gonna
Yeah.
be on some crazy shit. But as of now, we can send it on like through a private and public key. And well, it's a private and public key that consists. I'll cover that on the next slide, but it's like a key. It's basically like it's like a really long key that prevents from anyone stealing your information. It's like almost impossible. So like
It's like
actually do it.
it's like a password on steroids.
Yeah, like I'm talking about like 70 plus characters, depending on which one you get. Some characters are like 20, some are 10, but average is like 70 characters. That's like you're not getting into that. Like I'm sorry. I'll cover how impossible it is in the next slide, but yeah, but like you can use that. Crypto.com allows you to send it through like a phone contact or whatever, which is pretty useful. And Binance and etc. There's like different wallets, but yeah.
Yeah,
And which you can
and
download on your phone or internet browser, which is dope. What were you gonna say?
Coinbase, like as a good introductory exchange to start buying crypto, they have a wallet app as well, so it's, they you can connect, like once you start getting more involved with crypto, there's more applications out there that you can kind of use your crypto on and try and make more money or buy certain goods or buy, even like they have, digital like items now at this point, so you could get a collectible from like a video game, and buy it with cryptocurrency, right? And it'll be stored in your wallet, which is,
Yep.
and then it's yours, and
This is
it's
what
just, it's
Cameron
really
did.
cool.
This is what Cameron did. He bought. Guess what he did? CS:GO. He bought a case with Bitcoin. Did you buy it with Bitcoin? Or
Yeah.
Yeah. He bought
Yeah.
that shit with Bitcoin. I was freaking. I was like, oh my God, he bought it with Bitcoin. People
Yeah.
get the misconception that Bitcoin's just used for the dark web and just shady shit. It could be because it's so secure. If that doesn't prove how secure it is, I don't know what will. People use
Yeah.
it because they don't want to get caught. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
The dark web is kind of where it started its usage, just because it's kind of like it was introduced as no one kind of really knew what it was, and people were kind of scared of it at first. And so the initial adopters were those kind of the nerds that were doing kind of shady stuff and wanted a different way to move money around. And as they started doing that, it gained traction, and people were like, whoa, people are doing illegal stuff with it. And then people said, oh, wait, we can use this to do legal stuff a lot easier.
I swear to God.
Here we are. And
to the point of people doing illegal stuff, there's been so many different, like, there's like tracking, like there's certain bots that are used to just track transactions when there are, like, you know, hacks or robberies or anything like that and stuff. So it's they can see when the money's moving, you know. Like there was the kid who hacked into like Elon Musk and Bill Gates and all them,
Twitter?
just like
Yeah.
all on Twitter
I have
just
that
a
on
few
like
weeks
a
ago.
couple slides.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that later. But
Hell yeah. Because
still,
like,
pretty
dude,
cool.
think about it. Like how many I covered this in the very first video. I didn't play it, but I was talking about how like think about it, like how many times has someone like actually hacked into your credit card or debit card and stole money from you? It's happened to me multiple times. It's pretty inconvenient. Say if you need the money, like today, you want to buy some shit, you're about to buy it, and nope, your money's stolen. You have to wait a couple days to get it all back, which is still nice, but nah, it's fucked. Or you go to the ATM, right? Which has happened to me multiple times. I go to the ATM, deposit cash. It doesn't go into my credit card, my debit card. It's just like error, call back. Just call this and use this code to get your $20 back. I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? Like,
Exactly.
with this, you don't have to worry about fucking bullshit like that. Like, yeah, just it's fucking stupid. But all right, for perspective to how complex the numbers would be to generate the same key as me is insane. Look at this fucking number. The one in the white outline. Do you even know what that number is? Cam, do you know what that number is?
Yeah, no.
2 to the 256. They consist of 256 bits, which is 1 and zeros, right? Bits is 1 and zeros. So, for perspective, say you flip a coin 256 times, and every time you flip it, no, let me start with this. Let me start this. It's a coin flip, right? Heads is 1, tails is 0, right? I flip it, I get heads. All right, so I get 1, so I write down 1. I flip it again. Oh, I get heads again, so it's 1. I flip it again, I'll get tails, 1, and I get 0. I do that like 70 or 100, 200 times. There is no fucking chance someone is getting that number. For perspective, this is like a low ball. Like this is like insanely low ball. You're gonna need like a whole squad. You're gonna need thousands of people with the computing power of $1,000 laptop in the year of like 2040 or 2050. Like you need some like OP shit. Like you need some incredible computation, and maybe even a couple more thousand. And you have to simultaneously do so many calculations per second to actually achieve this. Like you'd probably need 1,000,000 computers to do this today. To get even half the number. I don't even know if you could even with 1,000,000 computers. I don't even know if you could even do that simultaneously and get even half the number.
Yeah, it's borderline impossible. Just
Yeah.
know that.
The technology we have today is impossible. In the future, I'm not saying it's impossible, but right now it's impossible. But yeah. This is what we're talking about, the Bitcoin scams. You have to be a fucking dumbass. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. You have to be a fucking dumbass to like actually think this works.
Yeah. All right. For some context here. So a whole bunch of verified accounts were hacked into through Twitter, and basically this dude posted his address where he basically people could send him Bitcoin and said he would send them double back. Wasn't going to send any of it back, just taking people's Bitcoin. Turns out to the whole point where it's anonymous, but like they can tell what wallet did what, right? So like if like they could trace this wallet down and figure out, like based on the transaction times that they were making, you can almost make a general assessment of where that person was located, right?
Which is just
Kind of it takes a lot of work, right? Which is a nice thing, but it still can be done. And
Dude, okay.
he was a 17-year-old kid, which to the
Which is
same
props.
point says, hey, we got some really bright minds out here. Yeah, this guy was doing it for the wrong reason, but I mean, hey, he's in the space.
Yeah, dude. You know what's funny? Okay, thinking about the blockchain, it's it's possible to change the blockchain. It's very possible. You can hack into the blockchain and actually change it. This is where it gets complex. I don't even know if I can wrap my head around this. I can. If you want to change the blockchain, say a block on the blockchain, say if you want to change block like 17, I don't even know what block we're on right now, but you want to change block 17 and we're on block 21, you have to go all the way to 17, change that block, and you have to change the blocks 18, block 19, block 20, and block 21. You have to change the hash, the number. You have to change a couple transactions. You have to change so much shit. Basically, in perspective, you have to change so much shit, it's not even worth doing to actually not get caught. Even if
Yeah,
no, even if
it's
you change it a certain amount, there'll still be a trace of you, so you'll still get caught. Like
yeah, then that's yeah, because it's the whole point is it's every transaction will be there forever, right?
yeah,
Like if
like I learned
someone
about
wants
that
to find it,
yesterday.
they can go find it.
Like I was really just deep in my fucking just computer, just like chilling, just reading. That's how like you
Yeah.
learn. You just like go on articles, look up a whole bunch of videos, just credible information. You just look at this shit and like, holy fuck, there's
No,
so
yeah,
much to this shit. It's fucking insane.
it is. Yeah, and I don't know. It's you got to be to that same point. It's you. I never read anything acting like I know if it's reputable or not before I read it. Like like regardless of even what the title is, you want to go in there and you want to read it just because this space it's so speculative to the point where there isn't much jurisdiction. So someone could post something saying, "Oh, this coin's gonna do, it's gonna go 1,000% up in this week." Theoretically, there's nothing saying that it actually would.
Or
But if
what?
you can kind of generate your own opinion and kind of explain to yourself why something's gonna do that, or and you see an integration between two coins and you kind of read up on it, even if you don't understand the full aspect of it, if you can kind of get the gist of it and kind of just get the basis of it going, it's it's to that same point I've kind of been trying to drive along this whole time. It makes you very confident in what you're putting your money into.
Yeah. Like Cameron, like honestly, I was thinking about this a lot. Like if this actually like does stuff with like we actually like get people to get on this shit. I was thinking of like we could like make a podcast talking about prices, talking about certain things and actually
Yeah,
research and have to
yeah, I've been working
because
on my
I know you're
my
gonna do a
technical
lot shit
analysis.
anyways.
Yeah,
Like I'll be like I'll try to like dumb it down as much as possible, but it's hard. Guys, you don't know how hard it is to actually like dumb this shit down.
yeah, and I mean and to that point, it's not like us trying to talk like we're
Yeah,
like Jesus Christ coming down
yeah. I'm
from
not.
on Easter, you know what I mean? But it's like it's a lot, and
Yeah.
it's really easy to get stuff kind of
Mixed up and just be
yeah,
like,
mixed
holy
up,
fuck, what
and
does that even mean?
yeah,
You have to
and
read it so many times before you even get it. You're like,
yeah,
I
and
might
it's
get it,
kind
but
of
I'm not sure.
yeah, and it's kind of understanding step by step. It's if you try it like just taking it all in at once and just
Just not happening.
accepting that's all the information you're gonna get, you're gonna miss a lot, and you're not
Yeah.
really gonna understand it.
Thinking
So
about it
it's
this way, when we're
you
looking for
build off of it.
information, there's a couple articles that are really good at explaining it and talking about it. Articles are going to be your best bet. And finding a reputable person that actually knows what they're talking about, like Vitalik Buterin or whatever his name is. I'll probably link him somewhere. I'll probably link a couple videos, but finding people like that, that's your main information. Don't go on fucking YouTube. Do not go on YouTube, type in what is cryptocurrency. You're not gonna get shit. You're gonna get people that are really, really, really inexperienced talking about shit they don't even know what they're talking about. Tell,
Yeah,
tell me
and
why, Cam. Tell me why these niggas have the audacity to say, I have 10 Bitcoins.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
plural. It's Bitcoin. And like this, like Ethereum, we don't really call it Ethereum anymore. We call it Ether. Ether. Ether, not Ether, 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 Ether. And we call
Yeah.
Chainlink, Chainlink. We just call it Link. I just call it Link. But yeah,
Yeah.
like
I mean, I was gonna say, like, to that point about like crypto YouTube, it's like you when you sit back and you understand what people make YouTube videos for, it's to get views and it's to bring in revenue, right? Like 90% of the people you're gonna see on YouTube, they're going to put out what people want to see, not necessarily what's
what they
going
need.
to happen,
Yeah,
right?
it's like TikTok. They're like how I made $1 million by the age of 24. They just keep telling you how they made this certain amount of money. They don't tell you how to actually go out and do it. They just say how they did it. They
Yeah.
say they did it, not how they did it. I'll give you another example. Like this is what I've learned over the summer. People on the internet always want to sell you shit. That's how they get views. They just want to sell you as much things as possible. There's never enough. Like there's so much people. You go on YouTube, you look up some business shit, you're gonna get so many ads people saying 5 ways to make passive income. That is a lie. That is bullshit. Borderline insane. Like if it really was that easy, everyone would be fucking rich. Like
It's facts.
like it's not how it works. You have to you have to go out there and do it your fucking self. That's one thing I've learned. And
Exactly.
another thing I've learned, yeah, people would rather learn about how to get rich instead of actually getting rich. Simple as that.
Hmm.
And I can't get more specific than that. People would rather learn how to get rich instead of going out and getting rich.
It's not about getting the information, it's what you do with it.
Shout out, they can go rich. Like right
Brain
now,
food,
dude,
baby.
I've learned, dude. I've read all these books, dude. But like, I'm smarter now. But I'm gonna slow my roll. Like I've learned that reading these books, you gotta like get to the decision being like, do I want to keep reading these books or actually get out there and do some shit?
No, I feel it. Yeah, you get to a point where it's, yeah, you take in so much information, you have to start applying it somewhere, right?
Yeah, like, it's fucking insane, dude. Let's move on to the next fucking slide. Holy fuck, what happens? Oh, okay. You can get paid in Bitcoin. We only have like 2 or 3 slides left, but I want to talk for like 5 to 10 more minutes after the slide. You down, Cam?
Sure.
Dude, I really appreciate it. Did you saved my fucking ass.
I got you,
Like,
brother.
dude, no, this dude Cameron, like, not trying to toot his horn or like toot his horn, but this kid's smart as shit.
Thanks,
He knows
man.
his shit. But okay, you can get paid in Bitcoin by solving complex problems. Yes, you can. Yes, sir. Yes. So like this is this is what I meant by miners, Bitcoin miners. There's different miners for different cryptocurrencies, like Ethereum mining, Bitcoin mining. It's only like a couple though. There's only like a few that actually do it. Blockchain. If I'm right. But so they basically need a very, very powerful computer. Like I'm talking about you need like 5, 6 graphics cards to actually do this computation. Like you need like some serious horsepower to actually get this number. Because what they're doing is looking for this very, very long number. Like it's very complex. It's like a very long number though. And they're applying it to the block on to actually unlock the next block in the blockchain, right? So like when they get this number, they get all these miners to validate it. Once it gets validated, they get paid in Bitcoin, right? Which is like it's 625 now, 6.25 Bitcoin now instead of 12.5. But yeah, like the blocks, each block can only store 1 megabyte for the transactions, which is a few thousand transactions, right? Do you have anything to say, Cam?
I mean, not really. That's just, that's kind of like the bare bones of Bitcoin. It's not necessarily imperative that you understand, how the miners do their stuff, because we're more in as a retail kind of, investing. But, it, it it definitely helps to know where the supply comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I feel
Because these
that.
guys are important. They circulate the the actual coin. Like
Mhm.
they actually keep it from fucking just tanking, like just getting fucked, basically.
Well, yeah, it's because there's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever exist, and we're at like I think what 17, 18 million probably about there. I think we have until like 2100 is when the last Bitcoin will ever be mined. Like,
Yeah, that's why we have Bitcoin halving. So like we can extend the life force of Bitcoin.
mhm.
So we have it every 4 years.
and that basically ensures that the price more or less should go up as long as we have the miners, and as long as we have people circulating it.
Yeah,
The
this is the
price deflates itself.
thing about it this way. If I'm a miner and I know the price is gonna go up, even though I mean I know the Bitcoin's gonna happen for 4 years, so I'm gonna make less Bitcoin every 4 years, right? I'm still making a lot of Bitcoin. 'Cause I know Bitcoin, like I'm talking about, it's gonna go up to a lot. So like 4 Bitcoin it's probably gonna be worth like hundreds of thousands in the soon future. But that's like best case scenario. But like I can't really for surely say like this is gonna happen or whatever. That's just like false. That's like saying like we're in a simulation. You're fucking stupid if you're gonna say we're in a simulation. Like and just for surely say it. You gotta be like this. You gotta be like a scientist. You gotta be like, if we are in a simulation, this is the chances that we are in a simulation. We're
Right.
either in base
Exactly.
reality or we're in the next cycle of the next simulation. That's as simple as that. I don't want to talk about that anymore, but that's just simple as that.
I feel that.
You feel that?
I do.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next slide. Slut. How much Bitcoin does a miner get for solving problem next to the blockchain or for the next problem? Oh, I already talked about this, but yeah, so they used to get 12.5 Bitcoin, which was that much right there, 113,000. That's damn getting paid. Jesus. How long do you think it would take to actually mine to actually get to the next block in the blockchain? Doesn't it take a long ass time?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the amount of computing power you have too. Um, I don't know. For perspective though, like a you know, when you think about a I guess a Bitcoin mine, right? It's kind of it's basically just one giant building that has a giant computer that's connected by a whole bunch of different smaller computers, right? And
Yeah.
the sole purpose of it is to complete algorithms and problems. So you can imagine it takes a lot of money to get something like that going. So it's gonna have to make them a pretty good chunk of money,
Yeah.
to produce it, right?
It's
So
like this is like this is mining is like the equivalent of like me having a software company hiring hackers to like find like plot holes or like holes in the software to fix so I don't have hackers actually bringing my network down. It's like equivalent of that. It's hiring really smart
exactly.
people to actually like find network errors in my system. Simple as that. But in this
Exactly.
perspective, they're just circulating the supply. All right, by having Bitcoin, we can also allow Bitcoin to be mined far longer than otherwise. That's what we already talked about. All right, perspective of the future. It's one of the last slides. All right, how will this play out? Well, technology is improving faster and faster the more we progress into time, right? Like, again, I brought up the singularity. Cameron, what's the singularity? I know what it is, but
It's singularity is more or less, well, we're constantly accelerating in our growth and our advancements in technology, and eventually we're gonna hit a point where we've we can create more advanced life forms than ourselves, right? And that's a really trippy process, but
yeah, okay, think about it this way.
yeah.
So, like, we're about to hit the knee of the curve, right? And it's where we start, like, this is the singularity, right? This is the knee of the curve. This is the singularity where technology just booms the fuck up. It's just, we get so advanced so quickly that it's fucking insane. Because remember, we had the cell phone, the blocky ass cell phone, right? 1990, right? And then we went to Blackberries with the like janky or just shitty ass fucking dumb
Keyboard.
shit, keyboard shit, plastic shit, right? To the iPhone. Steve Jobs is the goat. I watched that presentation the other day, but when he unveiled the first iPhone. But then we went to touch technology, right? The passcode, and then we went from passcode to the home button with the touch ID, scan your fingerprint, right? We went from the touch ID, fingerprint to facial recognition. And we're gonna go to facial recognition to something even greater. We did it all in the span of like 10 years. Or
Yeah.
10, 20, 10 to 10, 20, 10 and 20 years. Like that's crazy.
Exactly. And it's yeah, I mean, you could think of like, just think of even, just, video game consoles, right? Like, look at the
Yeah, look at the
PS3 compared to
graphics.
the PS4 compared to what the PS5 is supposed to be, right?
Unless you
Like,
got a nice
that's,
PC. If you got a nice
yeah,
PC, you already
okay,
have the
yeah,
PS5.
right. But like, that's what, 12 to 15 years worth of difference right there, and it's night and day, right? It's
Yeah,
the more we learn about technology and science, and the more we're able to work with it and better understand it, the faster we're going to be able to move forward. And that's
yeah,
ultimately why, you know Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, all these cryptos are, it's, you could look at it as the iPhone, or the computer, right? Like, it literally, you can group those in with those same types of things that are coming in and revolutionizing the way we look at not
yeah.
only
Like
the world but the structures we live in.
look at it this way. Like we're gonna be sentient with AI. Like sentience, like we're meaning like we're gonna like change the way we live and the way we live in the future. Like just dumb down. Like we're gonna fucking like yeah, we're gonna have some symbiotic like relationship with AI. And same goes with cryptocurrency. We're gonna have the same symbiotic relationship with fucking Bitcoin or Chainlink or whatever. We're gonna use it on a daily basis. We're gonna mix together symbiosis,
Yes,
symbiosis.
sir.
Like um yeah, we're just gonna mix this up together, right? And the singularity is gonna help this as well because we're gonna get so many fucking inventions that are equivalent or even more equivalent than the cell phone back in its day when it was like just like new and it was like innovative. We're gonna get so many of those that it's gonna be fucking crazy. I just got a low battery on my PC, my laptop.
Yeah, and then
We're gonna get so many of those. It's gonna be fucking insane. Like we're gonna have robots walking around as if they're humans, like type shit.
yeah, and I mean, like, I'll kind of go back to the Netflix example. It's like Netflix came around and they started with like renting movies, right? You'd go pick it up and that was innovative as its own, right? And then from there, Redbox came along, and it was order your Netflix in, right? And then they were like, okay, let's do this digitally. Now you have Amazon Video, you got Hulu, you got literally every TV station has a digital version, right? And who was the first person who did that? Netflix. And look at the growth that they've had since, right?
They're
It's
fucking rich as fuck.
it's when a new technology comes in, all it takes is one company to grasp a hold of it, or one group of people to grasp a hold of it, push it in the right direction, show some people the true benefits and what can come from it, and everyone else is going to start doing the exact same thing too. Like,
Yeah, it's all about paradigms. It's like we need a couple things before this actually happens, where it's everywhere.
exactly.
Like
We're just a few
combination.
steps away.
But yeah, let's move on. Okay, so like I use like it's inevitable. So banks will either join crypto or they'll die. Like it's as
Yeah,
simple as that.
there's going to have to be like this isn't saying necessarily that all like paper money is going to cease to exist, right? That's not necessarily what we're saying. It's more that there has to be some other way, because there's really no reason for us each to have a different currency that we have to, like, there's no easy way to exchange currencies right now either, right? Like, no easy way to take $1 in to like, you're in Japan, right? You can't just take $1 in at a dollar bill anywhere and they're just going to take it, right? Because they can't easily go anywhere and convert that dollar bill into their currency.
So we need one.
The whole point, exactly.
Because like we're gonna have, it's another thing. It's inevitable that we're gonna have a universal currency. Like robots are gonna be able to do our jobs for us, and there's gonna be so little work for humans to actually can do that we're gonna need a universal income. So get everyone getting paid in the same currency is ideal for the world.
Exactly.
My dogs
If
are little sluts right now. I hope they die down for a second. But don't mind the dogs. So someone's at the door. But so think about it this way. I use this as an example, right? Phone companies joining the internet, forming an ISP, because they knew that. Just give me a second. I'll be right back. Stay in line. I'm chilling. Let's go. Fucking dogs are fucking little nuisances, but so yeah, I used to have phone companies and as an example, like Cameron, do you remember when the internet was actually like starting to thrive?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I
Like,
wasn't. Yeah.
like
but
you,
yeah.
yeah, but like you remember the time period.
Yeah.
So like, you think about that, like phone companies either had to join the internet because they knew it was thriving. They knew that the internet would overtake phone companies. So they're like, they wanted to get rid of the internet, but they couldn't. Same thing with banks. Banks want to get rid of cryptocurrencies. They can't. So
At
like
some
more
point,
banks
they're
are
gonna have to
realizing,
bend the knee.
yeah, some banks are realizing like we need to join this, like the phone companies, or we'll fucking perish. As simple as that. So it's the same thing. Like the phone companies had to join the internet and conform, okay, come to a consensus and join forces like Spectrum, Settle, Travis Fox.
Swear.
Nah, but like it's as real as that. Like no fucking kidding. No joke. Like just it's either that or they perish. Like that's the way I see it. That's not even the way I see it. It's just it's reality.
Yeah.
But yeah. Congratulations, you've earned the basics to cryptocurrency. You fucking
Yes, sir.
Link Marines.
Yeah. Welcome. You're on the path to financial independence and hopefully getting out of that wage cage, right?
Swear, dude. All right, let's talk for like 10 minutes just about cryptocurrency. What's ever on your mind?
Yeah, I mean, like first thing I'm thinking about, just back to that Coca-Cola partnership, Unibright was one of the key players in that partnership with Baseline Protocol, integrated with Chainlink, pretty much used as a kind of supply chain token, but kind of one of the smaller caps that exist, but has a lot of growth potential. It's up a lot this year. It's up over 2,500% in the last year. I don't know. I mean, just kind of do your research, keep your eye out. I always say don't necessarily invest money you aren't, willing to lose. Not saying you will, but like there could be periods of time where you could lose 30%. Like if someone sells out a whole bunch of Bitcoin, or we hit a huge resistance in Bitcoin, it can pull down the market. And it's you look at that as, oh yeah, my account went down, but as a long-term investor, if you truly believe in what you're getting your money into, it's you look at that as a time to add some more and increase your stack and keep building that investment really.
Yeah. So what Cameron's basically saying is like, just buy a low point and hold that shit, because even though it looks like it's down a lot, it's gonna go straight back up if you believe in the cryptocurrency. Like, remember the stock market crash when the economy was fucked, and the economy is still fucked, but it was down 50%. Everything was down 50%. Like Bitcoin went from like 9,000 to 4,000, just like that, and Chainlink went from $4 to $2. Just everything went down like 50%. Instead of being like, oh my god, dude, why the fuck did I just lose all this money? Buy at that low point. That's a great example. Like, just buy at that low point when it's low, and then it will go straight back up to where it was again, and even more. Like, as simple as that. Just don't
Exactly.
bitch.
Yeah, you never, you don't want to be like, you don't want to be that guy that had 5,000 Bitcoin and had it and sold it for $5,000, right?
No.
And then watch it go to like $10,000. You don't want to be there. You if you're putting your money in here and especially if you don't have like the insane capital, right? You just you're taking paycheck to paycheck, putting a little bit in at a time, right? If you're doing that, you don't necessarily want to be putting it into something that you aren't 100% confident in, right? So it's you do your research, you read up on it, you start understanding what you're doing, and then you just watch the number keep going up, right? Like, it's once you get into a good spot, the price is going to reflect the investment. I mean, not always. Obviously you can have scam pumps or scam dumps, right? Where, some false information leads to one direction or another, but
Like Zeus Capital.
that's going to get corrected in the long term, no matter what, right? Like,
yeah, but like for
can't
reference,
just, yeah.
like this, keep going. So,
Yeah, no, I mean, just start with Zeus Capital a little bit.
yeah, Zeus. So these fucking hooligans, like, are they verified on Twitter? They should be. Like,
They're not.
There's like this company or whatever or something. Like, they were talking about how like Bitcoin, you should sell your not Bitcoin, you should sell your Chainlink because it's gonna go down to like almost a cent. Like, they were capping so hard, but they were like a reputable company. I'm pretty sure that's why it was such a big deal. Like, they said it was gonna go down to like 0 cents or some shit like that, and then Chainlink, guess what it did? It went down, but it went straight up to an all-time high. That's what fucking happens. And people, like the community, we have a strong community in the Chainlink community. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
like the founder of Chainlink, his name's Sergey Nazarov. How do you say his last name? It's like,
I think it's Nazarov.
Nazarov. Sergey Nazarov. Dude gets mean, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love Sergey, bro. It's fucking.
There's a collective power between the people, and it's kind of cool to have a little community behind your investment, right? Like, not only are you the best part is you hear all the takes on it too. Like, even when things aren't looking good, you have people out here saying, all right, this is the best time to load up and buy some more, like, you have people out there trying to help you out, and it's
well,
pretty
like,
cool.
not
I
even
can't say that for all the communities, but
they're not even charging you because they're that sure that the price is gonna go up to like insane heights. Like, they're just like, this one guy, Junkie, bro. Like, dude's awesome, bro.
Yeah,
Dude,
he's
dude's like, oh,
he knows
Chinley's about to do this, and it happens. Like, he's kind of like a cheat.
Yeah, it's it's just a cool space. It's a lot of different people. You have people that are college like us, and then you have people that are 45 and have a whole family and kids, and you see them on Twitter and they're getting super excited about the same stuff you are, and it's like, it's, if there's a whole bunch of middle-aged people putting their whole life savings into some stuff like this, it's, you got to imagine a few of them know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's not even just like me and Cameron are like, we're the only ones being like, oh my god, this coin's gonna go up. There's like a whole cast community being like, we know this shit's gonna go up. I'll give you an analogy. Like, it's like a volcano, right? I've used this on a friend. Like, it's like a volcano, right? We know it's going to explode soon, but we don't know how much it's gonna explode. what magnitude it's gonna reach. You know,
Mhm.
some people say 1,000, some people say 2,000, some people say 20 by the end of this year. Some people say this certain price. We know it's gonna explode, but we just don't know when. We know it's soon, but we don't know exactly when and how much. We know it's gonna be
Exactly.
soon. We know it's gonna be a lot, but we don't know the exact exact day time. You can't
Yeah,
really
it's
tell that.
when you find something this early and this pivotal, it's it's
Yeah,
almost
you're not
like
gonna.
winning the lottery in slow motion, right?
Yeah, you're not. It's not like you're fucking going on YouTube where you have like a tutorial how to do Chainlink. Like Cameron, remember you gave me that example? You're like they put it out there, but you have to actually go find it yourself. Like
Yeah, exactly.
you can't just easily type it in and be like, what is Chainlink? You have to actually go look for it. Like you have to like go
Yeah,
to the trenches and look for that shit.
yeah, and
Takes
shout
work.
out Sergey for that. He's just a genius for the way he does his stuff. It's he's letting the people that are really interested in the space and understand what needs to come. He's letting them go deep into it and find out about all this super cool technology, and letting the masses just be able to go market buy some of it, and shit. I mean, get close to anything is owning a small percentage of the world's GDP, right? Like ideally, but we got a long ways to go with all that. It's a long ways to go, but it could happen, like that, right? It's like that volcano, like you said. We know it's coming. It's just when's it gonna come and how big is it gonna be, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking insane. I said we'll end this in. Hold up. We'll end this at 4:30. So we got 7 more minutes, Cam. Let me think.
Word.
Dude, I've been having this thing for like 2 hours
Yeah, dude.
almost.
I can talk about this stuff
Dude,
forever,
I
though.
know. No, like I thought it was gonna be like 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, I
Nah,
mean,
nah.
there's a lot of nitty gritty in there.
Dude, there's so much shit to talk about with this damn thing. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
So
I
like,
mean,
let me think. What else did I not cover in here? Let me go through my notes. I have like, by the way, this is what I literally do. I fucking get note cards and I fucking write shit to remember shit. So I write shit down. I look at these cards every morning. I haven't been looking through them the past couple mornings, but like, dude, this is how like I like memorized like this crypto shit. I'll be
oh
honest.
yeah, I mean, uh, on another note, Chainlink's trying to break out.
Press up.
But yeah, I mean, some actually here. You know what? I'll give some good coins just for long-term outlooks here.
XRP.
While we're on it. So you got your Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, kind of like the core three, right?
Yeah.
Then Tezos, pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. Whatever. And then you have Bat. There's a browser that you can get. It works basically
Right.
with Google Chrome. Basically allows you to just earn passive cryptocurrency by just accepting ads that kind of pop up in the bottom left corner of your.
Top 5 ways to earn passive income. Download Brave browser today.
Yes, sir. But I mean, yeah, it's easy way to get a couple extra bucks. And I made like almost $50 in the last like 6 months just using it. Like,
Are you serious?
yeah, yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. So just just keep clicking away those ads, and I mean it's a pretty good coin too. Like, should be a pretty good long term thing. And then Aave, it's a lending service, but they have their own coin. They're changing it up. So right now it's called Lend. They're switching it to Aave, AAVE, like Apple, Vine, Egg, right? And once they switch it to that, instead of like a lending coin, it's going to be more used for governance and kind of their website and transaction fees and all that kind of stuff. But it's one of the fastest growing services that's kind of being built with Ethereum and all that. And then as well, Kava and Synthetics. Synthetics is pretty similar to Aave in that sense. It kind of works for an exchange or a service, but Kava is just a very new coin. Started looking at it when it was about at $1. Since then, it rose up. It hit 353. Super small coin. Got some really big names working on it from other coins and stuff. Just another one of those things I've been interested in getting into long term, and throwing $100 here and just letting it sit, forgetting about it for a while and seeing what happens. But it's one of those where I've kind of been watching it and just seeing some consistent growth and kind of getting upset I didn't get into it as early as I have.
Bro, I swear to God, if there's like a function I didn't like turn on to like make you record your audio, I will be like the saltiest motherfucker on this planet.
I don't think there is.
I'll be like, Cam, we're gonna have to fucking do some shit like this again. I'm gonna be like, motherfucker.
Yeah, we might break all-time high right now.
We're at 9:59, so.
963.
Are you fucking serious?
964.
Jesus. That's just moving, bro.
Yeah. We're just hanging.
Like, my friend Connor, he got into it, and we have this like chat. It's called Crypto for Dummies or whatever. That's fucking
yeah.
funny. Like, Cameron was like, "Welcome to the fucking money printer."
Yeah. I swear to God, that's what it feels like, dude.
Dude, I know. I was like the other day. I was just like, why the fuck is it so? I could literally so easily make so much fucking money by doing shit like this.
Well, here.
But
And
just
shout out to the viewers here, just for some perspective. I started buying my cryptocurrency about a month and a half before Corona, and I lost like 50 to 75% of some of my investment when Corona hit. And since then, I'm up over 3 times my entire investment. Like, even eating a 75% drop in a single day, I'm still up over 3 times my first, like, the total money I put in. That's
yeah.
I don't think since I've bought most of my coins, I'm really even down at all, like in any of them, just because that's the amount of growth we've seen, like just the amount of money that's been coming into this ecosystem.
It's fucking stupid.
It's ridiculous. I love it. I love it so much.
Hell yeah. Well, we got
166.
All right, Cameron. Looks like we're done.
I'm just watching this moon mission.
You okay? You want to get on Discord?
Maybe. I still need to shower. I swear.
Fuck. All right. Well, I'll text you, but I'm gonna end it right now. Stop sharing.
All right.
Thing.
Word.